Hello, and welcome to Room Familiarisation. What is room familiarisation? Room familiarisation is a technique used to provide a student with a systematic procedure for independence, exploring an unfamiliar room and developing a clear understanding of the spatial relationship of objects within the room. Stages. There are many stages to room familiarisation, such as starting point and information, pre-cane skills, perimeter search, obstacles, mapping, key point location. Information on all these stages will be given to you in this PowerPoint presentation. Starting point and information. Before you enter the room, the CYP should be given basic information regarding the room. The information should be about the location, function, shape and size. Location. What building is it in? What floor is it on? What side of the building is it on? Where is it near? Function. What is it used for? Does it have a dual function? Shape. Give a basic shape like a rectangle or a square. You can use a tactile shape to reinforce this, or draw the shape on the CYP's hand. Relate this to a room they already know. You can say, this room is the same shape as your classroom. Size. Give its basic size. Again, relate this to a room they already know. Don't say, it's a big room, but you can say it's bigger than your classroom, but smaller than the dinner hall. Starting point. Walk into the room and close the door. The CYP should stand with their back against the wall nearest to the door handle. If this position compromises the CYP's safety, find another position, but stay as close to the door as possible. Pre-cane skills. All pre-cane skills are used during the room familiarisation process, such as trailing, which involves using the back of your hand to follow a surface like a wall. Upper body protection, which is used to protect your face. Squaring off, which helps the CYP cross a corridor. Lower body protection, which is used to protect the groin area. Narrow space, a technique used to help negotiate a narrow space or a doorway. Information and training can be provided on these from your habilitation specialist. Perimeter search. The perimeter search involves the following: an initial tour of the whole perimeter. For this, the CYP should trail along the walls whilst using body protection. As they trail, you should give a basic description of the main objects they encounter. The CYP can give names to each of the walls to help them. For example, wall 1 could be the window wall, wall number 2, the whiteboard wall, wall number 3, the radiator wall, and wall number 4 could be the computer wall. After the initial tour, continue to use trailing, naming walls, body protection, and basic description. This time, instead of walking the whole perimeter, teach one wall at a time and always return to the starting point. For example, start at the door and walk along wall 1. Once they have learned this section, return to the starting point and walk wall 1 again, but this time add wall 2. Keep returning to the starting point and adding walls until the whole perimeter has been taught. Obstacles. When learning a route, a CYP needs to learn about obstacles and not simply be guided around them. Obstacles can be useful landmarks, and by encountering them, the CYP will develop an awareness of potential hazards in the environment. When there is a hazardous obstacle which cannot be removed, a landmark could be identified or created so that CYP has prior warning of the hazard ahead. Mapping. There are 3 different types of mapping, which are mental mapping, hand mapping, and tactile mapping. Mental mapping and hand mapping are more commonly used as they are easier than tactile. Mental mapping means using visual imagery or your own imagination to help you build a mental picture of the room and its features. Sections may need to be explored several times before the CYP can build a mental map. Hand mapping is a map drawn using a finger on the CYP's palm. Make sure the map is drawn from the CYP's perspective, not yours, and their hand is orientated to the room, palm upwards with fingers facing across their body, thumb furthest away. Key point location. Key point location are furniture and features that have a fixed position. These include things like the teacher's desk, the pupil's desk, the coat pegs, or a sink. Key point location is only taught once the CYP has learned the perimeter of the room. Key points should be taught from the starting point. The CYP will trail along the perimeter, square off, and then walk towards the key point. Once the CYP is confident, they will often go from key point to key point without having to go to the starting point. Summary. As you can see, there are many areas to cover when teaching room familiarization. The PowerPoint is designed to support you to understand the process and techniques that a habilitation specialist uses in this area of work. It is not intended that schools or settings employ these techniques without first speaking to a habilitation specialist.